What's going on, guys? I'm Chaseontwowheels at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, and in front of us we have a 2022 KTM 890 Duke R, and it's time for a first ride. All right, so guys, in front of us we have KTM's brand spanking new-ish 890R of their Duke model. This is their performance model. It's got the adjustable suspensions, the bigger brakes, and I don't know if I could be more excited to ride this thing. I was more excited to ride this than the Super Duke, so I think we should definitely get this video started. But first, we got to look at it and we got to hear what it sounds like. So guys, that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. Now, before we get going, while I get my gloves on, I'm going to show you guys an ad real quick so that we can have that beautiful, beautiful camera car footage of this gorgeous machine. So, you guys sit through an ad real quick, and then we'll get this thing started.
Today's video is sponsored by Fantic and their X8 air inflator. At some point in all of our riding careers, there will come a day that we'll all have to deal with being stranded. It just comes with the territory since we don't have the luxury of carrying a spare with us. No! Needless to say, I'm going to be using this bad boy right here. Shout out to Fantic for sending us one of their X8 air inflators, and wouldn't you know it, there's a motorcycle setting. Compact enough to fit in a side bag, versatile with 4 preset inflator modes, not including manual mode, and easy to use. It even uses USB-C for fast charging. I think I just found the newest addition to my saddlebag. So, if you guys want to grab one of these for your go bag, motorcycle, car, truck, schoolie, 18-wheeler, use our link down below and you guys can get $10 off. I don't care who you are, that's a flex and a half. Fantic, thanks for sponsoring this video. Now, back to the first ride.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sitting through the ads. If you didn't, I wouldn't be able to afford to get all this beautiful camera car footage that you guys are about to get to see. We are here on the 2021 KTM Duke 890R. I'm 5'10", I got a 32-inch inseam, and I can actually flat foot. I can flat foot while sitting down, and I can slightly stand up. And I will say I can just barely flat foot. Guys, something to note, as you can see on the screen, there's pollen literally everywhere, and my allergies are absolutely terrible. So if I sound like I'm not excited, it's only because my allergies are making me absolutely miserable. So, you know, it is what it is. It's stuff I'm dealing with. I got a hydration pack, so I'm going to probably be sipping on water the entire ride. But I just want to let you guys know if I sounded down energy, that's why. I'm super excited to ride this thing. We are on a stock exhaust on this model. Let's check out the modes real quick. We got ride mode, we got sport, street, and rain. We'll set it in rain, and we'll progress up through the modes. Enough talking. Let's go ride this thing. Now, my friends, before we get too far into this first ride, I just want to invite you guys to go check out our Discord. It's kind of a hangout area online for other motorcycle enthusiasts like yourself. Totally free. You can check it out in the link in the description. We'd love to have you over there. And I have a clear road. Baby, let's go. Absolutely on the Duke 890R. Woohoo! Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so 890R. So back in the day, KTM used to have a Duke 790. And apparently it didn't have enough CCs. So they replaced that motorcycle with what we have here, the 890. Specifically, this is the R model, so this is their more updated bike. It's got better suspension, it's got better brakes, and I think a slightly different handlebar. You can tell that it's the R if you see the little twisty boys on the top of the suspension. The regular 890 Duke does not have adjustable suspension. Yeah, so they added 100 cc's. This thing's looking at, I think, 119 horsepower with 62 foot-pounds of torque. Considerable numbers. And this thing, I don't know how much it weighs, but my God, is this thing light. Alright guys, so it's the first ride. Let's do what we do. Let's talk about body position on the 890R here. We got a little bit harder of a seat, and my legs are in a super interesting position. The legs are standing out the most. My feet almost feel like they are pointed behind me, and my legs are super comfortable. My back is upright, slightly forward, and my arms are kind of forward and down, and I have a sense of being very high up on the motorcycle. The high upness on the bike feel and my legs being comfortable and kind of back a little bit are probably the two standout features when it comes to body position. I will say this gas tank kind of tapers in some, and the seat tapers in towards the front. It makes me feel like I can get a very good hold on this bike with my legs, which I really enjoy. I really like this body position a lot. So guys, we are currently in rain mode, and as far as riding here on the street, I'm honestly shocked at how powerful rain mode is. Now, I'm going to switch it into street mode. Well, I was going to do it up here when I stopped, but you know what? Let's try to do it on the go. Ride mode, don't hit anybody. Did it, got out. All right, we made it. That was a little sketch. I'm not a huge fan of how you have to do ride modes here on this bike. I don't like having to go into the menu, but at least we have a simplified menu, so it's not too bad. I really wish I had just a single button, and maybe there's something you can customize to make that happen, but as far as what I'm aware of on this motorcycle, you're not able to do that. But regardless, we've got the bike here in street mode, so we're going to be able to test it out. Right now, I just have to comment on how light and flickable this bike is. So guys, I do remember from long ago, my 790 first ride, I remember something from that motorcycle, and I have not forgotten it because it was such a big deal to me. I have never ridden a motorcycle that felt like it had too much power for the chassis and how the bike felt. It was like too light and too powerful, which is not something you typically say together. So I'm not 100% surprised that I'm here on the 890 and it still feels incredibly light. It is a very odd sensation to be on a motorcycle that is incredibly powerful and feels this light. You don't expect this level of power. I don't know, I'm kind of getting those same, I have to be getting the same vibes, right? If the 790 was too powerful for the lightweightness of the bike, then the 890 would have to be, right? Oh, this bike is a psychopath. Oh, sorry, KTM, it's a scalpel. Right, that's KTM's verbiage. They love calling this bike a scalpel. I have noticed, guys, throughout the ride, more specifically on the camera car ride that we just got done with, the bike doesn't seem to want to get into neutral. My best way of getting into neutral that I have found is to get it in second and literally tap the top of the shifter to get it into neutral. A lot of that is around town riding, like right now, kind of slow speed stuff. That's when you're going to really experience that the most. Obviously, you're not going to be getting into neutral when you're going at speed, but you guys get what I'm saying. One thing I have noticed that I was really surprised with is the steering lock. Look how far you can steer this bike. That mixed with this lightweight riding around in traffic like this is no problem at all. But yeah, guys, the power delivery is smooth and grunty. Obviously, it's a parallel twin. Nobody's surprised about the smooth and gruntiness. But if you don't have a smooth throttle hand, you're going to have a little bit of a rough time riding around traffic and slow speed. Now, if you're an experienced rider and you know what you're doing, it's not a big deal. You can just control your throttle hand. But if you're new to riding, you need to stay the F away from this motorcycle. You are going to have a really hard time controlling this level of power around traffic. All right, we've got an opportunity here. Let's ride mode, sport. All right, we're in sport mode now. We are prepared for the highway. Maybe. We are on an entirely naked motorcycle. As you guys can see, there is nothing in front of us. We are in the highest power mode. We have no wind control. And we're about to get on the highway. So let's see how this is. I am hopeful because I'm leaned forward a little, so that might help me kind of combat the wind. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. That's what we're here for. This is the first ride. We're here to test this stuff. Let's see what this thing is all about. We got to be careful, man. With this lightweight of a package, it might be hard to control on the highway. We'll start in second and go. 40 to 80. This bike, that front wheel was wanting to come up. It actually came up in second. Very powerful, very good feeling though. That power felt, I don't want to call it controllable, but it felt manageable. It was a lot of power, but it came on in a manageable way. All right, guys, let's talk about highway stuff. As far as vibration goes, I'm getting slight vibrations in the handlebars and a little stronger vibrations in my feet. Not really anything bad. I would not complain about that at all. As far as wind, I'm getting all of it from my middle abdomen all the way to the top of my head. It's pretty strong, but I mean, look, I can keep one hand on the handlebar and just deal with this wind at 90 miles an hour with no problem. As far as power goes, you know, we're going 80 in 6th gear. We're only chilling at like 5,000 RPMs. Bike's just fine, having no problem. If we want some passing power, we can shift down to 5th. Plenty capable here on the highway. If you're gonna do some touring, you know, you're probably looking at getting a windscreen. Body position wise, I can scoot back on the seat. I can lean up some, and I've got no problem. Yeah, kind of comfortable body position. I'm surprised at how comfortable this is on the highway. I would not have expected that. I am getting a little wind on my legs though. As far as maneuverability here on the highway, God, this thing is so light. It's amazing, and I don't feel like I'm being blown around at all, which is kind of surprising. I did expect to get blown kind of side to side here on the highway, and somehow that's not happening. I don't really know why, because it does feel like this bike is a lot lighter. So, but anyways, guys, this is our big turn. Let's get this thing in it and see what it feels like leaned over in a more consistent fashion. It leans over so effortlessly, man. I'm noticing it takes no energy to ride this motorcycle. It's just like, how fast do you want to go and how far do you want to lean over? Like, I'm feel exhausted today from my allergies, and typically that would translate in being harder to ride because, you know, riding takes a lot, but this bike is just so put together. I'm having no problems at all. All right, guys, before we get going any farther, let's jump over to the guys in the camera car and see what they think in our Cardo spot, sponsored by the beautiful people over at Cardo.
I like the color scheme that they've come together with that, it's almost like a blued gun gas tank. I kind of like that look to it, and your traditional KTM orange, you know, suits it very well, the blue and orange. It looks very lightweight and nimble. Kind of a cool looking machine. You know, parallel twins, not my favorite style of engine setup, but nonetheless, very capable machine.
Like Brian said, I like the color on this, the kind of body style it has a really small gas tank on it. Seat's pretty comfortable. We'll have to see how Chase says this one rides. It is very light. It has a steering dampener on the front end, which is really nice on something like this, because you're gonna be hanging that front wheel quite often, I imagine.
Alrighty, camera car guys, thank you guys very much, and even more so, thank you Cardo for supplying this hat. and the Cardo units that I have on my helmet. We love them here in the shop. I know you guys will love them. So if you're looking for a Bluetooth unit, I cannot recommend them high enough. And if you use the code in the description, you get a discount on a Cardo. All right, guys, back to the 890 Duke R. So let's talk about power, and I'm going to go into... my God, I keep going into the wrong mode. All right, I am in street mode now. I prefer that over, what is it, race mode or whatever? Sport. Not a huge fan of sport. Too torquey, too instant on the power. But guys, the way this bike delivers power is very good. I love the way how it's a super torquey engine, and it gives you that power, that immense amount of power that it has, but it kind of has a smooth, gradual pull, and it's very similar to that Super Duke, man. It's got an immense amount of power, but it doesn't pop you with it instantly, as long as you don't have it in sport mode at least. And it makes the bike a lot more manageable. But yeah, overall, power delivery is phenomenal. I love the way it feels in conjunction with the throttle. I feel like I'm connected to the motorcycle when I'm giving it some throttle. I love that punchy power though. Moving on, let's talk about transmission. The transmission, once I got my clutch lever adjusted all the way out, I'm having no more problems getting the bike into neutral, and the transmissions felt great. I do find myself shifting up a little earlier than I kind of think I should. I don't know why I'm naturally doing that. Anytime I'm shifting, every time I can tell that it's in a gear, you get a good satisfying... Look at that. You can probably hear that. But yeah, have had no problems with the transmission. KTM transmissions are always pretty solid. They seem to be one of the companies that consistently does good on the transmission side. All right, now we get to play around with the power. We're in fourth, going 50. And it's a lot, and there it is. Now I have full power. I love that. I love it when I have to work for my power a little bit, because that way if I don't want the power, I can play low in the RPM. But if I want all of the torquiness, I just keep the revs up at like 6,000 and up. It makes it so I can adjust how I ride, and you know, I can put the bike in a position to be aggressive if I want to. One of the big updates that you get with this motorcycle is the brakes. And let me tell you, you can tell they are not bit in yet, and they have a tremendous level of bite. I cannot imagine using these brakes after they bite in. They would be strong. If I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, suspension wise, there's nothing on this route where I can really tell the suspension is really being pushed. When I was on that big turn, you know, I'm up high on the motorcycle, and the bike just effortlessly falls over in a turn, and it felt pretty stable going through that turn. So I imagine the suspension is pretty good. I mean, it's WP and it's adjustable, so I know it's a high level suspension. I can't push a bike enough on a first ride to really let you guys know. But if you guys are getting the Duke R, the 890 Duke R, rest assured you're getting top-notch suspension, and it's adjustable. If I'm going to be honest, I kind of wish it was electronic. This bike already has competitors that has electronic suspension. I feel like the Duke R needed to have electronic suspension, and maybe the regular Duke could have this adjustable, like manual adjustable suspension. That's kind of where I feel like it should have gone, but God knows how much KTM would have charged for that. So I don't remember the last time I rode a bike that felt this light and this maneuverable in literally every turn. It's absolutely incredible. All right, guys, so let's talk about our controls and the dash. Buttons are totally fine. I'm getting a good tactile feel. I do get a little bit of a cheapy vibe on the starter over here. I don't know what it is about that little area. It seems like something more expensive could have been used for that. Needless to say, I've been using all the buttons. I've got a good feel. I love the reservoir up here. Very subtle, very cool. As far as the dash goes, very KTM vibe, colored dash. We love that. The menu system, like you guys saw earlier, was really easy to work through. Now, if I could have one criticism, the Super Duke has two customizable buttons over here where my index finger is on my right hand. I would have really loved to see one customizable button that I could have customized to be my mode button. I would really like it if I could easily get to the modes, because right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clicks of a button to get me to change a mode. And I really feel like that's too many. I feel like it's pretty standard these days to have a relatively fast mode change. I would really like to see a button over here. There's not one back there, right? I'm just double checking. You guys in the comments are always awesome. If I miss something, you guys always let people know, which I absolutely love. So if you guys are watching through this video, make sure to check the comments, because a lot of the times people that buy these motorcycles and own them will give us more information in the comments. So we kind of crowdsource all the information. So if you own an 890R, let us know. Do you care about the mode button being hidden inside the menu or not? I'm super interested. As far as the levers go, the levers feel great. I love the adjustability. They've been great, feel fantastic. I love the feel of the grip. Everything feels good up here. I've got no problems with anything other than the tininess of that. The thing I like about this one is, you guys probably know it, or if you haven't, go watch the Super Duke review I did. There's a lot of stuff going on up here in the controls with the Super Duke. Much better job here on the 890 Duke R. Levers feel good, grips feel good. Dash is really clear. We have no options for changing the dash, but I don't really have a problem with it. I get my my oil temperature, I get my gas gauge. I will note that the range here in the bottom right, if you guys can see it, that's your fuel range. I've noticed that that's a little inconsistent. When we started our first ride route, we have a 45, about 50 minute, I guess, route here with the first ride. When we started, this thing said 365 miles, and now it says 170. I won't ride this bike more than 100 miles today total, and we're not all the way back to mountain yet. So I'm not really sure how they're we literally lost 10 miles of range, and I'm going the same throttling. So anyways, guys, we're gonna pull off real quick and do a little walk around of the bike. I know you guys have been getting to look at the bike in the camera car footage, but I haven't. So I want to walk around this thing. We'll talk about what it looks like, and here if we can get our old slot 144. Let's back her on in, because this is what we do here now. Alrighty, everybody. Let's get off this thing and walk around. So we are on the 890 Duke R, and we got the model with this bluish tint, and I'm pretty sure the Super Duke I rode had the same blue. KTM's doing some fire stuff, mixing their black with their, KTM orange and blue. Really like the direction they're going with that. That's the side profile. You guys can see the stock exhaust here. Now, I have seen this motorcycle with an acro exhaust that you can get through KTM Power Sports, little thing. It looks fire. I love the way the acro looks. It's very one of those like tall and thin ones. Love that. I honestly think this is one of the better looking nakeds right now. You know what? Should I say it? Do I say it? Other than the Street Fighter and the Duke are in the top for me. The only reason the Street Fighter would probably be my choice is because I'm not totally sold on this camel hump on the top. You guys see what I mean? It kind of like humps up. That's probably the only thing I don't love the look of with this motorcycle. I love the trellis frame, but do wish the trellis frame was a little more exposed. You know what I mean? I like it when you can see more of it. It sucks that they're covering up with that. Again, I'm sure there's like electronic, sensors there. Looks like we got coolant here. So they're there for a reason, but it's cool. You get a little peaky boy through there. Got the gorgeous orange wheels that look so good with the trellis frame. Such a good looking bike, man. I don't think we touched on it, but it does have ABS front and rear. Now, before we get going too far, I'm going to pull out my camera and take a photo for the old Instagram page. If you guys are not following us, we're at CJoe Pics over on Instagram, and we're on TikTok at Chaseontwowheels. So if you guys want to see some dope photos that I take of this thing, by all means, come follow us. Now that we've decided this is one of the top 3 looking middleweight nakeds, we can finish this video up. Oh, we get to do the steering lock test. All right, steering is locked all the way. Let's see how we do. I guess we should put it in first. Wow, might be the best showing yet. Nice job. Nice little, nice steering on the 890. Alrighty, guys, let's finish this video up on the Duke 890R. The bike's amazing, but it is most definitely not perfect. Now, here's a couple of the issues that I have with this bike. One, it's like $2,000 or $3,000 more than its competitors, and that's the base model. So And then the R model that we're on is even more expensive than its competitor. You don't get some of the stuff that you get with the competitors. The most obvious things I'm thinking of is the 6-axis IMU that the MT-09 has. And what that IMU gives you is rider aids like wheelie control, slide control. It gives you a lean sensitive traction control, lean sensitive ABS. And from what I understand, this bike does not have that. I would really expect that, and maybe I'm wrong. If I am, I'll get Bo to put giant text on the screen right now that Chase is an idiot. Now the other major thing, and you guys are this is gonna hark back on the Super Duke review, is a quick shifter. Can you guys explain to me why a $12,000 something middleweight naked bike that is their race spec model does not come with a quick shifter? I have no words. I don't know what's happening over at KTM HQ, but guys, if you're gonna put R on a bike, the audience expects a quick shifter. You guys let me know in the comments, am I wrong with that? Would you guys not expect a quick shifter on this bike? Now, can you buy one? I'm sure. What is the point of making an R model if you don't give it the R shit? Maybe I'm off, and you guys can let me know. I'm totally fine with being incorrect. You know, if you guys don't agree, you guys being you guys in the comments watching this video. If I buy something with an R on it, I want a quick shifter in 2022, you know? That pretty much rounds out the negative stuff of this motorcycle. Very similar to the Super Duke, man. This bike feels absolutely incredible. I love so much of this motorcycle. It has a rawness to it that makes it incredibly fun to ride. The lightweight mixed with the power is absolutely intoxicating. I would imagine any hooligan buying this motorcycle is going to have more fun than they can deal with. I have a hard time getting past some of these really obvious things that the bike should have, but as far as the core stuff, this bike is absolutely incredible. And I've enjoyed riding this bike more than I've enjoyed riding a lot of the other middleweight nakeds. And I think it might have to do with maybe it's the parallel twin engine, maybe it's the throttle response, maybe it's the body position. I really love the body position. I really can't say that enough. This bike has a ton working for it. As long as you can get past the pay to get some of the obvious stuff you should have, and get past a little bit elevated price. If you can get past all that and you like the looks, I think you guys are going to absolutely fall in love with this motorcycle. But guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. I appreciate you guys riding around with me in this video. If you guys are in the market for your next motorcycle and you're in the North Georgia area, I highly recommend you guys checking out Mountain Motorsports. They are the dealership that allows me to do all of these first rides for you guys. They have a massive dealership. They got 5 or 6 of them up here in the North Georgia area. They have a huge inventory. You guys can sit on damn near anything you could possibly think of. It's a really awesome place. You guys should check it out. And if you check it out, let them know you came from Chaseontwowheels if he doesn't hit that car, and you'll actually get a discount on a motorcycle with them. But anyways, guys, I've been Chaseontwowheels. Thank you guys for riding around with me, and I'll see you on the next one. I don't trust any vehicle on the road today. Good God. Y'all ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. Outro crew, what is going on, my fam? Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of the video. Make sure to put OC in your comments so I know you guys are the ones that made it to the end. You guys let me know, what are we thinking? Do we care that this bike doesn't come with stuff that it quote-unquote should? And maybe, am I off base? You guys let me know. I appreciate you guys getting to the end of the video. You guys are champs. And we'll see you on the next one. You guys ride safe out there. People be dumb. People really do be dumb.